Hello and welcome again to another tutorial. Today I will talk to you about one of the best ways to implement Docker networking, especially if we are talking about web application containers. I'm talking about reverse proxy setup, and one of the easiest to implement reverse proxies is Nginx Proxy Manager. Maybe you heard about it. And this is what I will show you today. Let's go to the gray board for a moment and discuss this configuration as an overview. We have this npm container, which is the Nginx Proxy Manager. Actually, this one right here. This is my reverse proxy, and it has published two ports. 8080 on the physical host is mapped to the port 80 on the container, and 8081 on the physical host is mapped to the port 81 on the Docker container. And then I have three web app containers: VAP1, VAP2, and VAP3. And all of these containers, the Nginx Proxy Manager and the VAP containers, are using the default Docker network, which is called Bridge. And the interface for that network is Docker 0. And I will have this class, this IP class right here assigned to it. Actually, scratch that. This is not Docker 0. This will be a custom bridge interface, because I will tell you in a moment why. Let me put here something else. Let's say this is an interface called, let me choose the right color. It's an interface called beer0 if. All right. The reason I'm creating a custom Docker network, and the custom Docker network will be called BR0. The reason I'm using a custom Docker network is because I want npm to be able to find the containers by their names. I'm not going to even look for the IP addresses of these containers. I just need to know their names and specify that in the Nginx Proxy Manager configuration. So I think with the default bridge network is not able to find those names, so we might need to run the containers with a link option and something like that. All right, and for the physical network is the same as in my previous tutorials: 192.168.122.0, and the testing computer, this one right here, it has the .1 interface, .1 IP address, and in the Docker host I have the .107 IP address. So when I will try to reach the Nginx Proxy Manager, I will go to this IP address. All right, and the port publishing will work with that IP address. So let's go to the console and start typing a couple of commands. Let me clear out this. All right, clear. All right, so let's see what we have here. IP addresses. I have my physical testing PC, let's say, with this IP address, the .1, and over here I will be connecting to the Docker container SSH admin at 192.168.122.107. And let's display the Docker networks in here. I have a Mac VLAN network here, which I will delete. Let's also see if I have any container running or stopped. No, so I will delete the Mac VLAN Docker network, remove MacNet. All right. Now I have a standard setup, and I will start by creating the custom Docker network bridge. So Docker network with a bridge driver. So Docker network create driver will be bridge. Subnet is 172.60.8. I think I was using in the gray board. /24. And the gateway of 172.16.8.1, and I'm not going to specify an IP range. I'm going to specify I can specify, actually I never know by heart this this parameter. Let me inspect the default bridge network, Docker network inspect bridge. I'm looking for this. I'm using this parameter to specify the name of the bridge interface that will be created. So again, Docker network create driver bridge subnet 172.16.8.0/24 gateway 172.16.8.1. And as an option, I'm typing this br0 if. So this is the name of my bridge interface, and Docker network name will be br0. So my Docker network is created, is this one, and also the interface, the bridge interface is here, br0 if. Okay, now let's see about the Nginx Proxy Manager and how we can install that. Let me go to the browser. And here I have opened the web page of this product, and it's very easy to install. Go to the get started, and here you'll have a Docker Compose script. If you want, you can just copy paste that on your machine and create a Compose file, and then go with Docker Compose up, and that's it. I will do it a bit differently. Maybe you don't have Docker Compose, or you are not prepared, or you don't know Docker Compose, and maybe you feel a bit overwhelmed by this option. So I will just use a script that is running a Docker run command, a simple Docker run command. Let's go back to SSH, and in my Docker host, I will create a folder specific for this container, npm, and change into that folder. And here I will create two directories, two folders for persistency, and those are called data, and the other one is called let's encrypt. So one of them is for let's encrypt generated certificates, and the other one is for the configuration data of Nginx Proxy Manager. And I will create a start script file, which I will use to start my container. So I'm going to use bin bash here. I will define a variable here, docker name, npm. And now the docker run command, docker container run, and I will format my command on multiple lines. So we can specify this backslash as a line continuation. So I will make it interactive. Continue on the next line. I will put this terminal option also. I will give it a name, and the name should be docker name. Right. What else? I will detach it. Let's also give it a host name. Why not? Again, docker name. It's fine for me. And now I want to mount those created folders for persistency. I can use volume, which is the shorter option, but this time I will use mount. So mount type equals bind, source equals data, and target, this is inside the docker container, equals /data. And I will do another mount for the let's encrypt folder, type equals bind source equals let's encrypt. So it's the let's encrypt from my current working directory. Target equals etc let's encrypt. So this is inside the container. Let's encrypt. Continue on the next line. Let's do also publish of the ports. So I will publish 8080 on port 80 and do another publish. Publish 8081 on port 81. So what else do I need here? I need to specify the network. I said it will be on custom network BR0, and I will also specify the name of the container image, which should be, give me a moment, which should be this one, JC21 Nginx Proxy Manager, the latest version. And this I think should be enough to have the container running. Let me list this. I have to make my start script executable, change mode plus x start, change mode, sorry, ch mode. All right, let's try it. I already have the image, so the container started almost immediately. All right, let's display also the containers, this Docker container. Right, so this is my npm container with these published ports. So right now I just have to go to the browser and test if I can reach the container. So let's do that. HTTP 192.168.122.107 port 8080. So it says congratulations, blah blah blah. The administration interface is running actually on port 81, so I have mapped port 81 on port 8081. So if we go to that port, I have the login prompt. The default credentials are specified in here, so it's admin@example.com with the password change me. And sure enough, I'm able to log in here, and it's asking me to put something else here. I will just, yeah, the default email address must be changed. All right, admin@routerology.com, let's say. This domain doesn't exist, but doesn't matter. And it's asking me to change the current password. So change me is the current password, and I will just give it a new password. And now I have my Nginx Proxy Manager running, but it's not doing anything. So what I have to do now is to bring up a couple of testing containers. So let's do that real quick. Again, let's display the Docker networks. I will be using this one. The containers, these containers that I will create right now will be attached to the same network. So let's do that. Docker container run ddash. Let's give it a name. VAP1 network. It's going to be BR0. Let's give it also a host name. Also VAP1. We can get away without host name, but just for clarity. And routerology phpine. I will use another tag now. I will use the latest tag. Okay. So I have my VAP1 container running. Let's create the other two. I will just reuse the previous command. Just change the name here and the host name over here. So I have VAP2, and let's create VAP3. All right. So I have my three HTTP Apache actually containers, and these containers which display it works. So not differentiate between the three. I will go inside the containers and edit the default index. Let's do this. Docker container exec VAP1. Let's put in sh, and the default index should be under var ww localhost htdocs. This is nice, it works. Sorry, not like this, it works. So this is VAP1. Out of this container. Do something similar on VAP2. cd var localhost htdocs via HTML. It works. VAP2. Take it out of here, and also for VAP3. Localhost htdocs via index HTML. And this is VAP3. Exit out of here. All right, now I have the containers prepared, and I will configure Nginx Proxy Manager to publish actually these web applications. So let's go to the browser and to the Nginx Proxy Manager. and go to this host menu and configure a couple of proxy hosts. I also need something else. I need to create a couple of, I don't have a DNS at hand right now, so I will create host file entries. So for vap1.test, I will say go to container name vap1 on port 80, and that's all I need to do. Actually, vap1.test, I need to click here on add. I can configure multiple domain names for a web app publishing like this, but I'm not going to do that. Let's configure the other two proxy hosts. vap2.test, vap2. So go to the container vap2 on port 80. Again with this vap2.test, I'm always forgetting about this. Another third proxy host, vap3.test, add it, go to container vap3 on port 80. Oh, that's fine. Now, one last piece of the puzzle here is to modify on my testing PC to add these entries in the host file, because right now if I go and ping vap1.test, it's not going to do anything. So let's sudo vi etc hosts, and let me put it here. 192.168.122.107 is going to be vap1.test. I think I can put multiple entries in here. Let me try vap2.test, vap3.test. Let's ping it. Ping vap1.test. All right. Vap2.test, and the other one, I'm sure it's working. So the only thing left to do here is to test our containers. So vap1.test on port 8080, because this is where my Nginx is published. So it works. It's directed to the vap1 container. Let's check vap2.test. Of course it's working, and of course the last one, it's going to work. So Nginx is differentiating the request using the host header with this name and this name and so on, and this is how it's able to direct my request to the proper container. All right, I think it's quite enough for this tutorial. I hope you learned something out of it, and I'm waiting for you in the next one. Bye bye.